Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. 3 Hues Painting Studio. Come paint, sip, and party at 3 Hues. Visit our website today at 3hueshouston.com. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Money Factor here on the Sphere. This is LaShonda Johnson, and I am a certified financial educator and co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance. And
I'm Tony Sanders, also co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance, licensed financial professional. Hey, we're really excited today because we have an incredible co-host.
Yes. We're excited to have him here today. We're going to introduce you to him in just a second. But, you know, Tony, let's let everybody know that this Sunday something very special is coming up. What is that?
Father's Day.
Father's Day. Yes, absolutely. Father's Day is coming up Sunday.
That's really, to me, that's really big because you know what? Mother's Day, we always get a lot, you know, but fathers, there's some really great fathers out there. And I think that they should definitely be, you know,
absolutely
acknowledged in all that they do as well.
We can't make babies by ourselves.
All right now we talking.
So we need the fathers. So today we want to have one of a very special guest of ours today, because you guys know we launched Men and Money, and now you get to start hearing the perspective of a man pretty frequently here, and we're going to be doing some exciting things with the Men and Money brand. So without further ado, and with great pleasure, we wanted to introduce our representative from, or one of the representatives from Men and Money, Mr. Doron Maghett. Magic.
Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? Yes, my name is Doron Maghett. However you want to pronounce it. But yes, I'm excited to be here this morning, representing Men and Money. Definitely been looking forward to this for a while. Just looking to get going and being the first official member of Men and Money. Just ready to get it kicking. So I'm very excited.
We're
awesome.
Excited. Yeah,
we're excited to have you.
Absolutely. You know, nothing like a good old man.
But he's a good young man.
Yes.
So
I'm actually getting old. I'm almost 40 now.
Wait a minute.
What?
No, stay there.
I'll be 38 in July. So I'm getting older. So
that's okay. We're still young.
A mature man.
Absolutely.
A mature man.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
So now, what we want to talk about today, you guys know that we're doing the Financial Foundation series, and we're in the debt part. We're talking about debt. We started that last week, just discussing how we need to attack debt, you know, and today we're going to continue with that, but
Absolutely.
we're going to put a spin on it and, you know, just talk about, you know, how men feel about it.
Right.
You know, and how
they
have to address it too.
Right. You know, how we came up about this, we were talking about, you know, the Father's Day and men in finance and fathers in finance. And, you know, I was having a conversation with someone and they were saying, that's right. That's a good topic to have because, you know what, without the fathers having finance, how can they take care of their families?
Yes.
They can't take care of their families. They have to be able to work. They have to be able to provide. And we look to them to do those things.
Absolutely.
So this is going to be a really good one. And if you have a father out there, please tell them, hey, log in, join the conversation because, you know, we want you to like and share because we need people to understand that this is a topic that will affect each and every household. You know, we want men to be good providers.
Yes.
But we got to give them the opportunity to do so. And they need to know the where and how to do it.
Absolutely. And you guys can certainly chime in on Facebook. You can send us a comment in the comment field. We can see it and we will respond. So let's jump right in, Tony and Doron.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. So the first article that we're going to look at today, it talks a little bit about Father's Day is coming up, like we said before. And even, before we even get into that, I wanted Doron to talk a little bit about what Men and Money, what's the purpose of Men and Money? What are the things that you expect to see happen with Men and Money? What is our tagline and what's our mission?
Okay. Well, first, I think in many communities, we have to break a lot of barriers because I know in my community, we don't really talk about money too often. So, I mean, before we can even build any type of wealth, we have to break those barriers about money. I truly believe that if we can talk about money and not make it one of those things that's a taboo to talk about, we definitely can start working on building wealth. And the next thing is just that we need to have this in our everyday conversation, is just building wealth. I mean, I think a lot of people think wealth is not attainable in certain circles or certain communities, but I know in certain communities, that's all they talk about is building wealth. So I really want to, that's our main focus, is just, I know a lot of times you go to places like barbershops or things and they talking about whether it's sports, but why can't we talk about building wealth and
exactly?
I love that.
Exactly.
I love that because the conversation is being had.
Exactly.
So you're talking about something. So what is it that you're talking about when you're going to the barbershop, when you're sitting with your family and your friends? And I think that what I say all the time is we just need to change the language and the conversations that we're having.
Exactly.
And before you can do that, you have to change your mindset.
Hello.
Yep, exactly. And I think once we can do that, then we can start becoming better as men as a whole. I truly believe that if we talk about these things and just keep it open, and I know like this past weekend I had a function at my brother's place, and it's just a lot of times when you talk about money, people seem just, I don't really want to talk about money. In the workplace, you never really supposed to talk about your salary.
They get so uptight
get
when you
uptight.
talk about it.
Everybody's uptight when it talks
Exactly.
when it comes to money.
Money, yeah.
So I just-
Stuffy,
we just want to break those barriers. So I think the biggest thing is building wealth is attainable, and in my circle, that's all we talk about. We talk about how can we build wealth, how can we gain assets, and we in the barbershop, we don't talk about the games or the Cavs or Mavs. We don't talk about that. We talk about how can we build assets, how can we gain. That. So I have a group of a circle of guys that when we do business together, we've done certain transactions, whether it's real estate, whether it's learning where to put their money. So we're just trying to, like I said, we're just trying to become better, and we're trying to expand out. Eventually, we're going to be going to New Orleans. We have a couple of things in New Orleans we want to do. So just
awesome.
We want to be all over the globe, but we start here locally in Houston.
Absolutely.
Then we're going to branch out.
And you can start by liking the page.
Yep. Right.
Exactly.
Yes,
So men and money, guys, men and money. Go ahead and come to our Men and Money page. Like I said, you see our tagline: building wealth, breaking barriers, becoming better. We can do all that, but like I said, we have to make sure that we're talking about these things and keeping an open dialogue. I know I don't have kids yet. I'm not a father yet, but that's one thing I really want to work on. Once I do start having kids, I want to make sure they understand how we can build wealth.
And and I disagree, Doron. I think that it takes a village. I think that you are a father, whether you have nieces, nephews, little cousins. I think it takes all of us, whether you've birthed them or not. We always mentor some child in some fashion or form of fashion.
I agree.
And there's so many, unfortunately, we have to discuss it because there's so many families or, children who are fatherless. And so they are looking for that father figure. So I do believe you are a father. In my eyes, I think men are.
You have some kids somewhere.
Yes.
And you know what? And you say that, and it's funny that like a lot of my buddies, I think I have like 4 godsons.
Yeah, sure.
Godsons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what I've been doing is I don't do birthdays, I don't do holidays. I have a fund for all 3 of them.
Awesome.
So every holiday, anytime I have some extra money or want to throw money in there, I dump money in for my godsons because I realize once they turn 18, all the birthdays throughout they're not going to remember the toy I bought them. But I want to. Once they turn 18, if I can hand them over some cash or be able to purchase them a car, that's what I want to do. So
I love that.
That's my goal for all my godsons. And I encourage people out there to do the same. I mean, we buy all these toys that they're not going to remember next year, or for Christmas you have this lavish Christmas.
Wait a minute, next year, next week.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't remember the toys next week.
Exactly.
Next week they put that stuff down and they don't even play with it.
Exactly. So I think it's our responsibility to just show them the right path, and that just starts saying, I'm gonna put your fund away, and you appreciate. You may not understand it now, but you appreciate it once you get it all.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So you can see now, the goal is to change conversations. We've got to change the conversations that we're having about money. We have to be more open and more apt to change our mind as it relates to how we deal with money, how we perceive spending money, how we perceive building wealth. And so with that, Tony, you want to go into the article.
Our first article,
Yes.
absolutely. So our first article today, when our producer, it says Father's Day financial advice. You get what you pay for. So when I saw this article, I was like, wow, this is great. Just in time for Father's Day. It says, okay, there we go. It says Father's Day is just around the corner. And I think it's time to change the way we celebrate the occasion at a frugal man's house. I think I will do this giving time. I have 3 sons, ages 18 to 24, and they all use some cheap financial advice.
What's cheap financial advice?
I wanted to know that too. What's cheap financial advice?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well,
Maybe.
let's take a look. Let's see. It says, my oldest is entering into this last year of graduate school and has a mountain of student loan debt. To show for it, he has no problem buying $250 shoes with nothing but a credit card to pay for. We see that a lot, you guys.
Yes.
My second son is entering in his senior year, and he sees no value in student loans, credit cards, which is good, but will graduate with a credit score of 0 because he won't attach his name to any bills.
Well, excuse me? Okay.
Oh, this is going to make for good conversation.
Yes.
My youngest son will be a freshman and knows nothing about finance. He puts away $1,000 in his savings in last year in high school, and he is convinced that it will get him through his first year of college.
Which $1,000?
Poor baby. Let's just stop right there.
Okay.
These kids need help.
Yeah, they need a lot of help.
So
Wow.
This is why Tony said you do have children.
Yes.
already, Doron.
Yes.
Yeah,
My-
that's-
I mean,
Wow.
That-
$1,000.
But that's how, if you think about it, kids perceive money so much differently.
So much different.
Than it actually is.
Right.
And that's how come it's so important to start training them
Young.
early.
Yes.
Speaking of that, there's going to be this Saturday, the 17th, a Money Live event.
Absolutely.
That we're going to be participating in. So come check it out. It is free. You can go to Money Live on Facebook, also Eventbrite. It's a free event.
A free event.
And if you have high school kids, middle school age
It's
kids,
teenagers for teenagers.
Teenagers. So if you have teenagers, bring your teenagers out so they can start learning and have there's a simulation where they're going to go through
Right.
what it's like to, have responsibilities and pay bills, and it's going to be like real life, but not real life.
That's what we call a reality check.
It is a
It's
reality
going to
check.
be a reality check.
So if you're watching us now, you can see it on the screen. It's Money Live. It's Money Live 2017 Team Financial Event. You can go there, register on the Facebook page. It is absolutely free. But the price tag on this type of information for your teen is invaluable.
Absolutely.
And so you really want to take advantage of things like this, because we're not even having these conversations with teens every day.
And this is the time. This is the time that
Yeah.
they really should start having them as young as
And
possible.
I agree. I think it's the parents' responsibility also to start pushing these type of events on their child.
But if the parents don't know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I think us as adults, we have to. I know in my family we didn't have wealth. We didn't grow up wealthy, but I know I wanted to change the cycle here in my family. So my dad, I spoke with him Saturday, and he mentioned we didn't really know about money, but I said I can't make that an excuse. I need to learn.
Right.
We're in the information age, so I
Yes.
can Google anything. So
The resources are
Exactly,
available.
the resources are available. So I just want to make sure my kids have the opportunities I didn't have when it comes to money. So this Money Live event, it's really I believe I'm pushing it. I've let a couple people know that they need to get their kids registered to come out to the event.
And one thing about it too, when we have events and things like this, and it's free, take advantage of it.
Yes.
That's a free opportunity
Exactly.
for you to come out, get the information for you and your children.
And there's no excuse. This is
No
summer.
excuse.
I mean, what else are they doing? You know, so and they could whatever else they're doing, but make time for something important like this.
Absolutely. This,
And
this
something
is
like
very
this,
important.
and something like this may you don't realize how some event like this could probably change your child's life. It can change your child's life just by going to an event and understanding the value of money. Because I think a lot of when you're a teenager, you really don't understand the value of money.
No.
When you don't pay bills,
Right. You don't have any
you don't have any
responsibilities.
responsibilities.
You
How
don't
can
have any
really understand how
responsibility.
money works?
Just think about it. If when we were teenagers, if we would have had this information, wow, wow.
I mean, I shudder to think because I know all the things I would have done differently.
Right.
You
And you know what? One thing why I like this too is because when kids started working, I remember when I first had my first job, it was way before. I've been working since I was 15, but even prior to that, me braiding hair, making money, me babysitting, making money.
Yes.
There's so many opportunities for kids to learn because they do make, money at an early age. But what
Yes.
do they're taught to go and spend it and start instead of just, saving some.
And I think a lot of times they follow in their parents' footsteps. So if your parents are spenders, you're going to be a spender. If
Absolutely.
your parents are savers, you're going to be a saver. So I
Kind of
think-
like they're gonna do exactly what they see.
exactly.
the apple does not fall far from the
Exactly.
tree.
Right,
And
right.
speaking of the apple, the shining apple in your eye or the shining apple in your smile. Okay. This portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. So if you're looking at us or if you're watching us, you can see the advertisement there on the screen. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and lifetime dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Pertice and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness at 713-789-8680.
Love it.
Yes.
What about your bing?
Yes. Gary, you're supposed to do that for us. Bing.
And then everybody shows their smile.
Okay, so we're going
Love
to
it.
continue on in the show. Let's go back to the article because there's quite a few other
Yes,
things that
there's
we
some
want
great things in
to
there that we
point
wanna
out.
highlight.
Okay, Tony.
So it says, is the cheap advice worth it? So cheap advice is all about wait a minute, my eyes just went. So cheap advice is all about all any of us can afford. Much of this was passed down from my father, who raised 9 children and through many ups and downs working at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida in the 60s and 70s. What did we just say?
Yes.
You
Passed
get it from
down.
it's passed down. And for the record, his favorite saying was, you get what you pay for. Keep in mind that as you read this advice, okay, so here we go. You are on your own. You're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
We know that.
Yeah,
You're
we've
on
told
your own.
people we're saying one of the things that we talk about a lot is taking control of your future.
Right, it's nobody
you can't
else's
expect
responsibility.
anybody else to do these things for you. You are on your own, and so it's your responsibility also to filter through information. We are inundated with a lot of people that want to talk about money these
Oh, my
days.
goodness. Oh, I can't
You
even
know,
tell
I
you
mean,
how
it's
many.
so many people that want to talk about money, but are you credentialed, licensed, and trained to be able to have those conversations? And so that's very, very important. Filter through the information that you're receiving. Make sure you're receiving it from a credible source.
Yes.
And make sure that it's something that you can rely on and trust. And that gets me to the point of getting into our workshops.
Absolutely.
Because that gives you the foundation that you need to be able to make sure that you're making the right decisions and more informed decisions about your money. So our workshops take place on Tuesday nights and Saturday mornings, 2500 East TC Jester, Suite 345. That's Houston, Texas, 77008. Do not miss the workshops, okay? If this is not close to you, please call us at 1-844-700-4463. We will direct you to a location nearest you in Houston or out of Houston. We have workshops going on across the country and in Canada.
That's awesome. So there's no excuse.
None.
There's no
Okay.
excuse for you not to get the information.
Yes. And so, you guys, if you have not had a chance to go and like the Spears page, you need to do so right now, this minute, this time, because we're going to have to end the Facebook Live session here in a short, very short
that
moment.
went by quick.
It went by quick. So if you're watching us, you can see where the Spear is located, and go like it. Subscribe. You need to subscribe, because you want to be able to review the show later. And while you're there, please write a quick review. Let us know what you think about the show. Definitely, we would like for you to share it, because we want other people to see this. We want other people to be informed, to be enlightened, and to be educated with the valuable content that the Sphere and all of its shows has to offer. And we would love for you to donate. This show is completely brought to you at no cost. But if you'd like to continue our cause, we'd like for you to donate.
Absolutely.
So there is a donate button there. You can do a single donation, which we would greatly appreciate, or you can do a continuous donation as a patron. And both of those options are available for you there. So there we go.
There we go.
So we're going to continue the show. Let's go back to the article, Tony.
Absolutely. All of our shows right there. Doesn't that look beautiful? That's so beautiful. We're working on producer double time today.
Oh, yes.
So it says, this is the first lesson in finance Dad taught me. At age 12, he would buy me a $3 pair of PF Flyer sneakers.
Wow.
I wanted a $10 pair of Adidas. I'll give you $3 towards your sneakers, he said. After that, you're on your own. I got a job delivering newspapers, made up the difference to score a pair of Adidas. And that's how I went the rest of the time. I lived at home. He told me what he was willing to contribute towards the shoes, clothes, a car, etc. And I was on my own after that. I learned that it pays to have a job if you want to be on your own.
Hey,
you can park
this
that
is something
right
that,
there.
hey, that everybody should be saying to their kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, I really believe in saying that, because my parents did that to me.
Absolutely.
My mom was like, hey, listen, you're not the only kid I have, so you're going to get Levi's. And if you don't want Levi's, then I don't know what to tell you. So I said, I know what to tell me. I need to go get a job.
Right.
So I can put the rest with that and go get the Jordache that I want.
And that's what I had to do. I had to go get a job. And unfortunately, I was the oldest girl, and it was two girls that followed after me. So they got a lot of hand-me-downs. And so in order to get the things that you wanted in life, you had to go and work for them.
Yes, but the kids these days don't understand that
don't
language.
understand that.
You know, a lot of them have this sense of entitlement.
But you know what? I think a lot of times kids are being too spoiled by their parents. I think a lot of parents. I know some parents that just give their kids anything,
Everything.
I'm
and
guilty.
everything.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
And I think when you have to work,
no, hey, hold it up high. Hold it up high. We are guilty parents, but you know what?
I've been that person,
right?
I have.
But we have this conversation a lot, and we talk about our kids. They're adults now, but if we could go back in time and change that, and I tell new parents now, if I give them one bit of advice, number one, of course, educate them, but don't spoil your kids. Make them work for it. Make them earn it, and they will appreciate it so much more.
Yeah, I think I really appreciate everything I have, because my dad didn't give me. I mean, I don't want to say he didn't give us anything, but he gave us just enough. We weren't getting,
and that's all that's required.
Yeah, that's all that required. But I think I grew up in the era where the Jordans were out, so I never had a pair of Jordans. But I never really wanted. Now I don't even want a pair of Jordans.
Right.
But I think when you're when you're
what did Gary say?
but I think a lot of times when you're growing up, your parents are just spoiling you,
right,
buying you the Jordan 1 through 89, and just
at any really cost, you know.
Exactly.
And I think it's a derivative of them having life difficult, so they don't want their kids to have life difficult. You said it right there.
Say it again. So you said it right there.
Okay, let me just speak about me.
Yes.
You know,
but you're helping somebody.
I wanted to be able to give my kids things that I didn't have, or things that I had to go fight to get. I wanted them to have it. But at the same time, you can do those things within reason, and they can, like the article says, get them to meet you halfway.
Right.
Get them to work for it. I mean, even if they're not physically going to work, because there are child labor laws,
but they can do chores. But chores at home.
But you can you can make them do some things at home, like. You know, nowadays, you know, kids are like caught up in the, you know, video games and the, you know, social media and the Snapchat and this, that, and that. But hey, get up and make them do some things. A lot of us are paying for services that our kids could be doing.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I've never seen so many companies for landscaping
service,
because we were the landscapers.
We were. Man, and we were Molly Maids. That was us. We were Molly Maids. Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, we had a chore list.
Yes.
You could not do things on Saturdays until you completed your chores.
Absolutely.
I know when we grew up, we had a dishwasher, but we weren't allowed to use it. My dad said, you guys are the dishwasher, so do not use the dishwasher. I mean, we couldn't. And I think having chores and having a list of chores gives you that responsibility.
Character. It
Exactly.
builds character,
Yeah,
and it makes you responsible. And it makes you a well-rounded person. And so you can actually identify children who are reared with those kinds of morals versus those that are not. And I don't blame the children. You got to look at the root.
Yeah.
What happened?
I blame me. I blame me.
But I think we live and learn. I think we live and learn over
Absolutely.
time. I learned from a lot of my friends of how the ways they treat their kids, and kids have it made. All you have to do is go to school, make good grades. That's
Right.
it.
That's
all
your
you have to
job.
do. That's your job. To go to school and make straight A's. If you can't do that, then you're not doing your job. And
Oh, Doron, can they have a B? He say straight A.
straight A's? I mean, but you know what I think? I think we don't. I know my parents didn't really push me, so as long as I didn't make an F, that was it.
Yeah.
So I think if you push your all kids are, I think, gifted in their own ways.
Absolutely,
And I think if
yes.
you push them, like I had a cousin that she said her kids couldn't play sports or do anything unless they made straight A's, and they wanted to play sports, so they made straight A's, and they got scholarships. So I think if we push our kids are really smart. I think a lot of times we don't push them enough. We dumb them down. I think a lot of. So when we talk, maybe even if it's talking about money, we feel they don't really understand because they don't make money. They really understand.
Okay, I want to talk about that real quick. We have to stop saying that. They're not young. They're not old enough to have that conversation. Or you guys leave the room. We're about to talk about money. No, let them stay.
If they can sing those rap songs and memorize those rap songs and all these dances that they do, they can learn about money.
They can learn about money.
They can learn about money.
So
that's good. That's real good. Let's continue on. Wow. It says, take credit when credit is due. I learned this one. When I left home, I paid all of my bills in cash for 7 or 8 years. When I signed up for a credit card at age 23, the banks rejected me. And when I went for a car at 25, they laughed at me. Wow. When I tried to get a mortgage at 27, they awarded me one at 12% rate. Wow.
Jesus.
Ooh. I didn't know a credit score from a box score at the time. And now I know how the game is played. I see the value in credit cards as long as they are paid off every month. I'll ease my sons into credit world while they are in college. After that, of course, they're on their own.
Like he says, ease
them into.
Yes.
Not just
with
bombarding
education.
them with credit cards because they don't have a job when they're there.
Yes.
But you have to prepare them for after they get out because you do have to have some sort of credit. You need to, start them off building the credit.
And I think a lot of times parents don't teach their kids about credit cards. That's why they get them and they get their consume so much in debt.
Yeah, the responsibility.
So I think of us as parents, I mean, you have to teach your kids what you didn't understand. If you didn't understand how credit cards work, you need to teach your kids, hey, if you spend this, you need to pay it off because the interest rate may be this high. And it's just, I think we parents need to have this conversation with their kids. And you can't, like you said, you can't shy away from them these things because if they don't learn, they're going to learn the hard. If you don't teach them, they're going to learn the hard way.
Oh yeah, they're going to learn, and it's not going to be easy.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be
and
easy.
so if you're listening to us or watching us, I tell you, you have to have conversations with your kids about credit. Unfortunately, it's necessary for us in this society. We cannot do every single thing with cash. We need to build some credit, but there's a proper ways to do that. And educating yourself first so you can educate your kids is the way to go.
Absolutely.
And so making sure that you don't abuse credit, but you need to use it the proper way. And the kids need to understand what that is. You need it.
You need it.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so this portion of our show is being sponsored by 3 Hues. Come paint, sip, and party at 3 Hues. Join a party or a book your own private event for kids, speaking of kids, or adults, let Three Hues help you create your masterpiece on canvas step by step. A painting party is perfect for any occasion: a church function, a wedding, showers, team building, Girl Scouts are earning their badge, date night, birthdays, and any time that you want to have fun. Ask them about their summer camp program, a kids club, special events, and wine painting events. I like that one. Did we mention that our Three Hues is mobile too? Yes, you can go to the studio or they can come to you. Visit their website today at threehueshouston.com.
Nice.
Hey, we still got to look into that
because
we want to go there for our
22nd.
next social. We want to do that on June the 22nd, so stay tuned, and we're going to get with Three Hues.
That's your
Awesome
project,
service. I actually
Tony.
used this service before.
You did?
Yeah, actually, my friend, she actually is one of the owners of Three Hues. So
Wow.
I got her on speed dial if you guys want to call her.
No, she's a partner here on our show.
Okay. Okay, so.
But Tony, you got to call.
Yes, I
22nd
know.
is coming up quick.
It's coming up quick. But we be so busy. Oh my
I
goodness.
know, life is fast, right?
Yes, yes. So let's
Okay.
continue on.
So, Doron, you want to pick up
Right.
with invest early?
Okay, invest early. There's no topping the power of compound interest. Terry Connor, the dad across the street, was explaining how his stock investments one day and suggested if any of us had $10 in the bank, we should join him by buying a stock in, what is that, Radiation Inc., an electronics company involved in the space program in the 1960s. Radiation stock sold at 50 cents a share in 1963. I had $100 in the bank and didn't want to listen to Mr. O'Connor. Radiation now is Harris Corporation, and my puny investment of $100 would have been worth 201, excuse me, I thought it was $251,360
Goodness
based on
gracious.
Harris stock price in June. Investment money while you're investing money while you're young, and leave it alone. If you pick your reliable fund, you'll be thrilled at what your retirement funds looks like in many years. I'm sorry, my eyes.
Okay, before you go, you want my glasses?
I thought I had 2020 to the.
Do you wear
To
glasses?
today?
I don't wear glasses, but maybe I may have to go
Get
do
your
an eye test.
glasses. Yes. Yes, but that's good because we talk about that as well. You know, invest early, teach your kids how to save a little bit, and then never say no to an opportunity. I'm thinking, man, if he would have just listened.
But here, money is time, and time is money. Start early. I love the start early part because you guys, here's the thing you need to take advantage of: time.
It's equivalent to
I
money.
like that he says, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
So sight unseen. So you put it away, let it go to work, man, and don't worry about it. And if you want to continue, because you're young enough to do that.
Right.
And so, hey, you got to take that advice. Let's go back to the article.
Okay, count on emergencies. There are a lot of categories in financial advice, but one of one that gets overlooked often is the emergency fund. Open a bank account and start one. Only 25% of American families have enough in reserve to tide them over for 3 months. Another 25% have zero. Man, zero.
Wow.
Zero.
The other 50% fall between mostly closer to zero end. My dad was laid off 3 times. The first time we ate cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 months.
Wow.
The second time we skipped lunch, and my mom got a job and put her paycheck in an account only she could access. The third time we were fine. Dad was out for 6 weeks, but it was business as usual at home. I remember when the economy collapsed in 2008. She did a lot for a lot of my neighbors. She did lots of my neighbors. Not all of us are still neighbors. Start emergency fund and keep contributing small amounts until you reach the third month's threshold. Man, my eyes are bad.
3 months. Yeah.
3 month
Three
threshold.
months
You guys-
we talk about that, though.
You have to have an emergency fund.
Right. Life happens.
So in the course of life, I'm sure there'll be several times that, you know, these things can happen. Emergencies can happen.
Right.
They always happen, and they
And
happen in the most inopportune times.
But people talk about it all the time. How many times have we sat with people and they've been laid off multiple times? I talk to people all the time, especially in different fields. They always get laid off, and the preparation is that they don't have it.
And I think a lot of times people think it's not going to happen to me.
It's not gonna happen to me.
Well, I haven't got laid off. I don't know anyone that got laid off, so I'm good. But then when it happens, you're not prepared. And
You're not prepared.
I think a lot of times we just need to plan. I truly believe. I know I worked with a lot of people that made good money, but they didn't have an emergency fund. It's just like, why? Because you're so used to that money coming in, you feel that, oh, it'll be here next month. I can save next month. And I think we have to do better by planning for these things like emergency funds, 3 to 6 months, I believe. 3 to 6
months. You got to start it off at least $1,000 and keep building on it. If you have to deplete it, it's what it's for. You rebuild it again. So there's been several times in my life that I've had to use my emergency funds and go back and replenish them.
But thank God you had it.
But thank God I had them.
Absolutely.
And I was taught early as a child. That's something that my parents taught me, is you always need to have a stash of money. They didn't call it an emergency fund. They just said you need a stash of money for if anything happens. Or they called it saving for a rainy day.
Oh, there you go. Saving for a rainy day.
Absolutely. So let's go back to the article.
All right, go ahead, LaShonda.
Last but not least, it says piggy banks might be all you need. Don't overload kids with finance lessons until they reach college. My dad never talked about finances at home. All 9 of us were thankful. We never worried about paychecks, layoffs, past due bills, or retirement funds because the subject never came up. We were kids for crying out loud. Most adults don't understand credit, investing, budgeting, saving, etc. Why burden a child with that? I disagree with this.
I disagree with the whole
completely.
Thing. So I wanted you to keep reading just because I want to make sure.
Okay, they'll be adults soon enough. Get them a piggy bank, preferably one you have to smash to get the money out of, and tell them to fill it up. That will teach them the value of saving, which is the foundation for all good financial habits. If you're stuck in the popular culture idea that's never too early to teach kids about managing debt, then here's one last thought. Don't tell them what to do, show them. I do agree with that.
Yes.
Our family watched my dad navigate financial landmines without worrying. If it was all going to blow up, we were never scared he wouldn't make it. We grew up relatively poor, but stress-free. That's a good thing. Any kid will tell you that. So happy Father's Day. So let me just say this.
Yes, because we don't agree.
You do need to teach your kids.
Absolutely.
I disagree with that. You need to teach them. I didn't say burden them with your financial burdens, but do teach them. And you have to teach them age appropriate. So at certain age, certain things are appropriate to teach them. And as they progress in age, then you teach them more things.
Absolutely.
But you do teach them. I like the piggy bank concept. Yes, they do need to start putting something away. I used to tell my kids, if you get $1, you have to put some of that money in church and you have to put some in your piggy bank.
Right.
Or wherever you're going to put it. And I started when they got older. When my son was in high school, I went and opened him an account and I taught him how to properly use a debit card.
Right.
How to use the ATM transactions and things like that, what these things meant. So again, age appropriate things.
And I would agree with LaShonda. I think that age appropriate, I think the younger you teach them, the better it is, because kids are already in the mindset of learning. So this is a great time to teach them because, if you teach them now, then that will follow them the rest of their years and they'll want more and more and more. But if you wait to a certain point, there's so much that they've missed out on.
Yes, absolutely.
There's so much that they've missed out on. And so when they do, if you start them elementary with a few little things, then you move them up, middle school, high school, college, they're prepared. They're ready.
Correct.
So when they do finish, and they don't finish with a lot of debt, they don't finish with a lot of credit card or student loans, and they know how to manage their money.
Yes,
period.
Absolutely. So
it definitely starts when I think the earlier the better. I think I know one of my buddies, what he did with his son in elementary, he would give him allowance, and he said he'll let him make decisions. You want a video game? It costs $50. I'm only giving you $5 a week, so you have to save up. Now, if you want that ice cream, you have to take it out of your allowance, and that's going to extend the time you get your video game. So what do you want, ice cream or your video game? And he would always say, I want my video game, so I don't want the ice cream. So I think at an early age, you're making your kids make that decision and not just let them know that, hey, we value money. You just can't get anything when you want it. So.
Right.
Yes.
And I was in the store most recently, and it was a lady and with her children in there, and the kids, of course, wanted something. So you know how when you're checking out, there's so much things for the kids to choose from, and the mother said, "Did you bring your money?" And she didn't, so she couldn't get what she wanted.
That's good.
So teaching them,
Good.
that nothing is free and that they have to work for it and save up for it and create a budget. In essence, create that budget for it. So if he wanted that $50 game, he had to save up $5, and $5 you gotta save.
And I think a lot of parents, they can't teach it because they don't practice
They don't
themselves.
do it.
So if you don't have a budget, how can you teach your kids about budgeting? And
you've got to start learning these things yourself,
Right. So
before you can teach them to your children. And so, I mean, the principles of save, give, spend instead of spend,
right.
needs to be adopted by you as a parent first, you as an adult first, because like we said earlier, you know, Tony said that, you know, Doron doesn't have kids, but you do have kids. You have nieces and nephews. And man, I can remember before even having children of my own, I was already dealing with nieces and nephews. And so, you know, and nieces and nephews come to you for what the parents don't give.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, you all need to be in sync with the messages that you're giving to kids as it relates to money. So it needs to be a family thing. A family thing needs to understand money. It needs to be generational too.
I love it.
You know, so we've got to do better. That's all it is. You know, at the end of the day, we have to do better. No, we're not saying you need to sit your kid down and say, look, we're in deep debt and we don't know how we're going to meet the mortgage next month. That's not what we're saying.
No.
Teach them age appropriate things about money.
I love it. Absolutely. Fathers, you know, we want you to make sure that you come out first so that you can lead by example and join in our campaign. We're on a mission to educate 1 million families by the year of 2020. So how do you teach your kids? You first got to come out and get the information so that you'll know exactly what to teach them and when to teach them. So again, you know, we have our workshops. They're available to you. You also want to get a copy of our book, Saving Your Future.
Absolutely.
Because it's the basic principles. And those are concepts inside that you can share with your family. And it's like LaShonda said, it's a family affair. You know, we go to church together. They say a family that prays together stays together. I truly believe a family who talks about their finances, they will all be financially free and financially independent because it's something that's just embedded in you.
Yes.
It's just embedded in you when you can do it together.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I just love it.
So hey, that's a way to deal with Father's Day, is to remember. You know, if we can just remember, you know, we have a man sitting right here. He talked about how his dad, you know, he gave them what they needed. Okay. And so even as moms, you know, because we tend to have the soft spots, you know, and we want to, no, we've got to firm up. And, you know, the times call for it right now.
Absolutely.
You know, we've got to be wiser with what we're doing with money.
Right.
Absolutely.
So before we go on, but said this portion of our show is being sponsored by The Spear, of course. Are you starting a business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Spear. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspired dialogue, coupled with the strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thespear.tv. I tell you, you want to be here at The Spear. This is the place to be. We have the best producer, Mr. Gary Lee.
Best
Let me tell you,
can offer.
Yes, he is doing incredible things here at The Spear TV, and there's always something new and innovative to come. So if you want your own, you need to advertise, you know, get in contact with him, because I tell you, this is definitely where you want to be.
Yes, absolutely.
The Spear TV. All right now. So what's we need that. We need some sound effects. Hey, hello, we need some sound effects. So what's next, LaShonda?
So next, I want to talk about a very interesting article. We you know, first of all, we are talking about building our financial foundation still, and debt is, you know, that second layer. We spent quite a significant time talking about the first layer, which is proper protection.
Right.
And then, you know, the next layer is debt. And so now we're talking about men. Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. You know, you guys go out and take care of your dads. Make sure you treat them special.
Right.
You know, we have to do that. We can't have babies by ourselves.
Right.
And so, you know, dads are very important. But this guy here, he is called Men versus Debt. And so I thought this was very interesting because it gives us a spin on what a man thinks about being in debt. And, you know, I mean, I'm not a man, but Doron, I know as a man, you are married, you know, you're the head of your household. What are the pressures that you have to deal with, just having to, you know, be responsible for everything and carrying those things on your shoulders?
I think, man, when you being that naturally we're providers, even though sometimes in some households you may not make the most money, but I think being a provider, you just feel that you have to be able to control your household, and debt is a big thing that we focus on. I know in our household, we want to make sure that, because right now my wife really doesn't have I don't want to say concept on debt, but she just still spend. So it's one of those things. I'm like, hey, we can't spend. We can't just go buy what we want. Even if we have the money, we can't just go buy what we want. We have that. We have to.
Even if you have it.
Even if we have it. So it's just one of those things. We have to be disciplined. Because it's easy. Okay, let me go get this and let me go get that because I have it. But let's be disciplined because I want to be. I like to travel. So for me, I would rather spend my money traveling than going to buy a bag or just doing things like that. So I just feel that what's your priorities? I mean, for me, I know I want to have a great retirement traveling the world, and I just don't feel like spending money on frivolous things here and there. Shoes, paying $200 for shoes, where I can put that in somewhere and I can let that money grow. Then when it gets time to pull that money out, I can
do what you want to do,
exactly.
Which is a great lead into this article, because the article says, if you're watching us, then you can take a look at it. Is this it? Okay. No, that's what I gave you.
Yeah. She had to look like she hadn't seen.
Men versus debt.
That's the website.
Okay, so did it now? If we can we kind of let's figure this out, because I want people to see this. It is men versus debt. And can we scroll down?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, maybe this is it. Can we scroll up?
There you go.
Okay. So,
Man versus dead.
any further up?
No, that's gonna give you that picture.
Okay. So, reevaluating your financial principles, but one
Priorities.
of the things, priorities. See, my eyes are playing tricks on me.
See,
too.
nobody have on their glasses today except Tony.
I have on contacts, but obviously,
Your eye.
I got a bad eye. Okay, so yeah, you can have fun talking about money. You can see that.
Oh yeah.
But one of the things I love about this site is it says, get rid of debt and do the things that you love to do. And that's what caught my attention.
Right, because that debt will keep you from doing anything.
There we go. That's what I want people to see. And so you see the little baby, but
Man versus debt.
But when you can see a wide view of the website, there's a dad there. There he goes. It's like, hey, sell your crap, pay off your debt, do what you love.
I love that.
And I love that.
Sell your crap.
Sell your crap.
I think a lot of people value too much crap.
We
Exactly.
buy a lot of crap,
Right.
things that have no value.
Wow.
And we go into debt oftentimes over things that have no value.
At
or
all.
we're emotionally tying ourselves to something for the moment, and then next week we don't even remember, or we didn't wear it, or we didn't. It just doesn't. Sell your crap and get out of debt. So let's go to this article.
I want to see what this has to say.
It was so exciting to be able to read this. However, you guys, it's very repetitious to the messages that we send all the time, and so we're gonna go back to it so you guys can see. And if you're watching us, then I want you guys, first of all, if you don't have time and you're driving and you're listening to this somewhere else, because you can, first of all, you can go listen to this. It's going to be archived. Then you can go back to thesphere.tv and you can see the links to these things. So they will be available to you. Now, so first of all, this is from a male's perspective, Doron. And it says man versus debt. So I would love to see if there's a site out there that says women versus debt. But anyway, but we get the rap for always being in debt.
Yes.
Because we
Spenders.
spend more.
Yes.
We spend more. But anyway, can we cue this up, director DJ? Okay. So he says, since I shared my report from the 3-year mark, now this is a journey that this guy has taken of my battle against debt. I've been amazed at the kinds of words that from so many members of the Men versus Debt community. So this is a community of people he's created, from comments to Twitter messages to emails, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to jump down here for the sake of time, but it says you need to as I was preparing to write today's Men Inverse Debt post, I kept finding myself drawn to a post of Baker's from several years ago, discovering your financial priorities. And so I think that's so necessary, you guys. You've got to understand what is priority.
Right.
You know, what is need versus want. So let's go back to the article. Now, number one, keep the bills caught up. This has not been a problem in a year for me, and I'm more happy about that than I can say. However, I've been there, the juggling late bills dance, and I need to be sure not to forget how awful that felt. It does not feel good. It's
not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling.
I've been there too.
Yes, I think we all have.
I don't like it.
No,
I
it's not a good
don't like
feeling.
not being able to pay my bills on time.
Right.
It's a terrible feeling. So especially if you have a family, you don't want to be in a position where you can't pay your bills, or you just kind of lagging on certain bills and paying. What is it? Paying Peter to rob. What is it?
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things you have.
And Paul don't have it. So Paul is like, you keep robbing. Peter's like, you keep robbing me to pay Paul. And Paul is like, you still not giving it to me. I don't know what's happening. So it's a third person that's in here somewhere, and we need to figure out what's going on. But let's go back to the article. Keeping the bills caught up. It's like you have to, pay your bills on time. For us, this means not only having enough money to cover our regular expenses, but also having a decent buffer in the checking account for when paydays sometimes irregular and freelance and don't line up with the due date. So all three of us work for ourselves.
Right.
We're independent.
Right.
And so we have to be disciplined with money because we don't know what the next payday is going to hold. I've been working for myself since 2002. And I tell people all the time, hey, I don't know what I don't have a first and 15.
Right.
I make what I go get.
Right.
And so you have to be wise, especially if you work for yourself, because you don't know what's going to come around in the next pay cycle.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And so let's go back to the article. Number 2, provide for needs and moderate wants for my family. Going back to your dad, Doron, saying, but give you guys what you need.
Yes.
And a little bit of what you want. For us, most of this comes by way of food. I will tell you flat out that we spent more on groceries than we need to, and that happened to us. I mean, me. I noticed that when I started meal prepping, speaking of meal prepping, we have our next meal prep classes coming up on June the 25th. So you can go to our Facebook page, The Houston Housewives of Finance Official. And if it doesn't say official,
it's not
us. Then you can go to the event section and sign up for that. But until I started meal prepping, I noticed that for years and years and years, I've been buying more food than I actually could eat before it expires and things like that. So I've been more disciplined doing meal prep, just buying the things that I'm going to cook for the week. Yes. And so we have to, have some balance here. You really have to have some balance and know where you're spending your money. So let's go back to the article. And so he goes on to say some other things there. For the sake of time, we're going to skip down. Have all the health care. I don't have much to say about this, except that I look for a full-time job that pays less than I was making freelance and full-time, so that I could have health care insurance. Well, now we have all kinds of things to make sure that we get the proper health care in place. You have to contact us if you're struggling with health care needs, because we can help you with that. And we do have people that can be able to help you with that. I personally was able to decrease my healthcare costs from almost $600 a month down to about $280 a month.
Wow.
And that's using a healthcare share program, which is kind of different from your traditional things, but it still provides the healthcare.
Absolutely.
Wherever you can put money back into your pocket and increase your disposable income, you should be willing to do that.
That's a great savings too. Wow.
Let's go back to the article. Number 4, maintain an emergency fund. We just talked about that, so we don't have to beat a dead horse with that. But if the horse is not dead, keep beating it, because you need an emergency fund. You definitely need an emergency fund.
That emergency fund.
Exactly. Right. Pay down debt and avoid new debt, which is what we've been talking about also. So again, repetition. He's created a community of men who are trying to attack their debt. And it all goes back to the same principles.
Hey, what it sounds like to me is men and money.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the big thing, a lot of times people get in debt trying to impress people with things. I know for men, they want to get cars, they want to buy clothes just to try to impress whoever they're trying to impress. And I just feel that if you get out of that realm and just feel that, hey, I want to get out of debt. I actually have a buddy that he says he does, him and his wife, they make good money, but he uses all his income to pay all the bills, and he uses his wife's income to pay off all the debt. So they're debt free now. So he just, it's amazing when you see people doing what we preach every day, and it's
yes,
and they work together, because that's what we do. We live off of one salary.
Exactly. So I truly believe if you and your spouse are on the same page and you're working together, it's no way you won't reach your goals. But I think most couples aren't on the same page.
Absolutely.
And it creates that friction in the household. Then you wondering why you're not in a happy relationship, because most of the time, majority of the time, it's finances.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If you can control that by just being on the same page, making sure, okay, this is our goal. We're gonna strive to reach our goal. Yeah, I know you want this, but hold off. Let's pay off this debt, and you can get that later.
Being patient.
Being patient. And most people aren't patient.
No.
So.
And a lot of the things that we want to go spend money on, again, those are the things that we want. We don't need them.
We don't need them.
Most of us have the things that we need, but we just need to practice being disciplined, making a plan. I like that you said you can do whatever you want to do, but you have to make a plan.
Absolutely.
You have to make a plan. You have to schedule a personal financial strategy, and we want to make sure that you get phone numbers, email addresses, and contact information to do that, because all of us sitting here, the three of us, provide our services to you complimentary. So you can contact me at LaShonda J at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
You can contact me. Oh, okay. You can contact me at dmaghett at msn.com. My number is 520-220-1627.
And I'm Tony Sanders at Tony S at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com. You can also call us at 1-844-700-4463. Hey, just Google us, send us a Facebook message. You can find us anywhere. Just contact us. You absolutely need to get a complimentary personal financial strategy if you want to create a plan. How do you know where you are? You got to know where you're going. You have to sit down with someone so they can help you with that plan.
Absolutely.
And somebody,
if you want to reach out to Doron here, you can inbox him on Men and Money. You can call him. You can also reach him through our 1-800 number, our 844-700-4463. You can reach him through there. Listen, we just want you guys to take action, okay? We want you to do something to change your situation. Get your kids, if they're teens, out to Money Live event this weekend coming up. Come out to our workshops Tuesdays and Saturdays, Tuesdays night 7 p.m., Saturday mornings 10 a.m. Get your Saving Your Future book. Contact us to schedule your personal financial strategy. There's multiple things that we've given you a way to reach us and how you can touch base with us and make these things happen. So the ball is in your court. We hope you run with it and give us a call, okay? So we'll see you next time, same place, same channel, thespirit.tv. And thank you so much for being with us, Doron. You're going to see more of him. You're going to see more of him, hear more from him, and we're thrilled to be able to continue to provide you wonderful content. So we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.